Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today we are gonna be cooking, not baking. Um, I'm gonna be cooking a dish that I've made several times, but haven't found the name since. So I'm just gonna show you what it consists, and we're gonna start cooking from there. So we have chicken broth, noodles, bean sprout, carrots, bok choy, which is the leafy greens at the back, and beef. So that's what it needs. You can also add spring onion to it, but that's really optional. I don't have any, but if you want to add it to your ingredients, you can go get it and we'll start cooking. So first we're gonna start off with the vegetables. So I'm gonna start off with the carrots, the bok choy, and the bean sprouts right here, but I'll tell you what I did with it later. So first we're gonna start off by peeling our carrots, of course. Um, Meanwhile you're doing that, there's not really anything you can do, so just peel your carrots. Meanwhile I peel my carrots, I actually want to know how you guys are doing. I hope you guys are doing really well, honestly. My life's been going great. I'm a junior in high school, so it's a lot of work, a lot of homework and chores and responsibility, but knowing that I am close to graduating, I am not sad about it. I don't find it annoying. I just know that I'm gonna get to my goal, and if working hard for it is what I need to do, then I'm gonna do that. So anyway, here I'm cutting my carrot. Not cutting, sorry, peeling. Unique choice of words. But is this not? You don't need the best carrots. And it doesn't matter of the size that you're gonna get your carrot, because you can see this one's pretty big, and then you've got this one which is pretty short. But I do not suggest baby carrots. That's one thing that I don't think it's gonna work with this. If you only got baby carrots at home, then use what you got. But if you have a choice between both of them, choose the big carrots. So let's finish cutting this and then I'll get back to you. Now that I've peeled both carrots, I am gonna keep using this. We're not gonna use the knife just yet, because it seems like I've cut off, with the peeler I cut off the edges. So what I'm gonna do here with the carrot, I'm just gonna peel little thin sheets of, carrot. Wait, let me show you. So like this. I find it makes the texture more pleasant. It's not too thick, neither is it, well, it's probably a little bit thin, but it's not too thin either. So it just gives it a nice light texture in my opinion. So just do it like that, but it's really your choice. I like the texture of how these turn out, but if you would like it more thicker, then you do you. You're the cook in the kitchen, and nobody should tell you how to do it and what to do. So if you like it thicker, do it thicker, but in my opinion, this is the best texture that you can add to this dish. So I'll finish doing this and I'll get back to you. So this is what it should look like after you cut it or you peel it. Thin, not too thick, but not on the thin side that it might break apart. So this is what it's gonna look like. I already started separating my bok choy, so what you're gonna do with these is you're just gonna peel them little by little, like leaf by leaf. You guys are not certain if you want to put like the middle, I put the middle because I don't waste food, but if they don't want to because they're too small, it's kind of your choice. But I am. As you see, it's a little bit of a struggle, but we're fine. We're gonna get there. So you should just end up with the base and with your leaves separated. So I'm gonna do that with the rest, and I'll show you the final result. Okay, so like after separating my bok choy, I washed it. So now it's washed and it's all separated. So this we're gonna add it with the carrots and then move on to the bean sprout. Now, as for the bean sprout, it might look like a big blob of mush, but really it's not. Yesterday, I drained it from all its water, and I put it in paper towels to let it dry, so it wouldn't get bad. But these don't take too much they don't take, they take a long time, to get bad, so especially that's a vegetable. So what I did is just that I washed it, I drained it from its water, and I put it in paper towel to put it to dry. And you don't need to there's no process to cut it or anything, you just leave it like that and you'll see why afterwards. Now moving on to the soup portion of the meal. This is 100 ounces of water. I put it on medium heat, and since I don't have, I forgot to put to buy soy sauce. Sorry, I'm gonna put chicken broth. But the original recipe calls for soy sauce for flavor, and it also calls for chicken broth. So you put both in. You don't put salt because that's what gives it its saltiness and its flavor. So since I don't have soy sauce, unfortunately, the soup base will just be chicken broth. So I'm going to do that and leave it on medium heat until it starts to boil, and then we'll do the next steps. Now, for the protein portion of this meal, it will be beef. So I'm going to cut these into smaller pieces because you see like they're pretty long. So I'm just going to cut the longer pieces in half. Stir fry them, season them, and yeah, so let's get to cutting these because I need to start. So this is how they look like. Like I said, they're long strings. I don't know how to explain it. So I'm gonna cut it in half, and we're gonna fry them like that and keep going. So I'll see you when it's done. Okay, now all of my beef is cut, so I'm just gonna put them in a medium-sized pan, season them, and like I said, I'm gonna fry them. So here's my medium-sized pan. I'm gonna drizzle it with oil. Here I'm using extra virgin olive oil, but really it doesn't matter. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna drizzle, because like I said, it's stir-fried, so you're gonna fry it, right? And now we're gonna let it heat up, and I'll show you what you need to season your beef. Okay, so to season your beef, you're gonna need some salt, some garlic powder, some all-purpose seasoning, some black pepper, whoops, wrong container, black pepper, granulated onion powder, okay, oyster sauce, and a little bit of paprika. That's what you're gonna need to season your beef. So here I'm waiting for it to heat up, which I think it's hot already, so I'm gonna start putting in my beef and start seasoning it. Now that it's seasoned, it's on medium heat, and I seasoned it, so I'm just gonna let it cook and fry itself. By the way, the smell is phenomenal. And here we have our water. which is already starting to boil. So we're gonna work with that in a little bit. But for now, well, okay. But for now, we're just gonna let this cook and keep an eye on it. Don't put it on high heat because it can burn or it will not cook as well on the inside. So yeah, just keep an eye on that, on the heat and on the meat. So I'll get back to you when I'm ready to do the rest. Now that our water has boiled, I'm gonna put in the carrots that I cut earlier. Oh my god. Okay. And the bok choy as well. So let me just finish putting these carrots and then I'll show you the bok choy. Okay, the carrots are done. Now I'm just gonna start adding the bok choy. These things are pretty big considering their small size, so yeah, it might overflow, but just for a little bit. I turned it off because I had it on somewhat high because it was taking forever. Oh my god. Sorry about that. Yeah, it was taking forever, so I put it on high. But you know, that's my kitchen. Not necessarily your kitchen, but that's my kitchen. So here I'm moving it around just to mix everything in. And let it boil. That's what we're gonna do. The meat's done. It's right there. So we're just waiting for this. And then we can make our noodles. So yeah. Now here I am putting to boil around 60 to 70 ounces of water for the noodles. So I'm just gonna let that boil. And then we're gonna put in the noodles. Meanwhile, the meat is done, but this is still making its way there. So let's wait for this and then we'll put in the noodles. Itty bitty trick, if you want it to boil quick, put a little bit of salt and then cap it, and then it'll start boiling. Then you can do the rest. Alright, now that the water is boiling, I am going to add my noodles in. They're really fragile, but they're like extremely easy to cook. So like they only take a few minutes. I'm gonna grab a little bit more because I see probably is not enough for a family of 5. So I'm just gonna go get that. For those who might be saying, oh yeah, like why can't we use spaghetti noodles? Because they're too thick. Meanwhile, these ones are really thin and they're easy to cook. So I suggest these ones. In my opinion, I don't think the spaghetti ones will work. So I suggest go get these ones. The soup is ready. The meat is ready. Now we're just waiting for this. So once this is done, I'm gonna show you guys the final result. Now the plating process. Jeez. First, we're gonna put in our noodles, which I have right here. You're just gonna put not a lot, but enough. Enough to keep the person full, of course, right? So there you go. Don't worry about that. That's the amount of noodles that you're gonna have in there. This is a big bowl, so might look like little, but it's not. And then here, I am gonna start putting in the soup with all of our veggies and everything else. The water will keep it, you know, at its noodle texture. And it's hot, it's steamy, it's very vitamin packed because of the amount of veggies that it brings. And don't worry, you might not see the bean sprout here, but it's coming. that, I think that's enough amount of soup. Probably put a little bit more water. And since we have a lot of veggies left, I can get another spoon and just scoop the veggies. There we go. Now we have the noodles, the veggies, and the water. I am gonna take the meat. Okay. I'm gonna take the meat. Just a few pieces because, you know, if you're serving it in a good thick quantity, you're gonna want a few pieces in there. I'm gonna put a lot, or somewhat a lot. Like I said, it's really to fill up the plate. That might seem like a little bit, but like I said, it's a big bowl. And I'm serving a family of 5, so this is a good enough quantity. And now, here comes the bean sprout. The bean sprout reappear. So we're just gonna put this on top. Like that. I'm gonna put a lot more. This, because I have a good amount, I'm gonna put enough. So that is it. And here is the final product. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. Sorry. Let's restart that. I hope this video was helpful. A quick, easy, and delicious dinner recipe. Really nutritious, I find. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. That's all I'm asking. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. I hope you guys use it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Bye.